I'm feeling, as we say in England, wound up. Do you say that elsewhere? We say it. I feel wound up. I've really appreciated in people's vlogs how they've said about having compassion for the witnesses left behind. Those still in, those are still under the control, which it's often not until we leave that we can see that control. And I've been understanding a lot more about how mind control techniques work and how trauma particularly can make one more suggestible. And the trauma of Armageddon that children are brought up with leaves them very, very suggestible, let alone everything else that goes on. So I have been trying to be kindly and tolerant towards the trolls, shall we say. Perhaps I should use a kinder word. But those that decide they're going to put in some hours by putting in answers to people's vlogs and never answering the many times that I've asked, well, hang on, you know, you're looking down at this person's outside the organisation, that person, oh, they've been thrown out because they were this or that. But every time they look at a vlog, every time they answer and interact on a vlog, that is an offence. And I put the word offence in quotes because I wouldn't call it an offence. But according to the Watchtower, it's an offence. And it's one which someone can be disfellowshipped for. Yeah. So, yeah, it's this huge... Whoa, it's just none of it makes sense. And I couldn't believe it when I just first got, it's not that long ago that I first got a little bit involved online in the YouTube channels. And I couldn't believe I was being sworn at by J-dubs. Sworn at. I mean, and called everything. And other people have, I mean, the Great Apostate, he's very good for doing his mean tweets and putting down comments, the name calling he gets and the insults, which are pretty shocking. They are really, really shocking. It's just, what? What's that about? I mean, none of it makes any sense. If someone was caught on the doors talking like that, I mean, they would be hauled in front of the elders and they'd be out with their marching orders, you shall never speak to your family again. So, I mean, that's all crazy. But one thing that's really agitating me now is, I mean, there's stuff coming up, obviously so much with the child abuse, and it's not only with the child abuse when it happens, as so many people have said, and there's so much testimony, there's so many court cases bearing witness to it, there are so many legal proceedings in the UK, in Australia, everywhere. And it's not only the fact that someone is a child, is molested and abused so badly by trusted people in the congregation, can even be ministerial servants and elders and people higher than that again. It's not only that, it's the lack of care, concern afterwards, so that there is no medical treatment, there is no psychological treatment, that there is no going to the authorities, even when it's mandated by law. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. And once, if just I could see a response from a current J-dub, okay, a current J-dub who is on defending, who at least would stop and say, that poor child, that must have been awful. It is understandable that when that happens, a child is going to react, is going to grow up to react. Their family may well react, Even if after that they want to debate something further. But if there was just those core, just a few core words to say, that, what a terrible thing, that poor child. I feel for that child. I feel for how that child has grown up, the adult they've become. How can any of us not? As I say those words myself, oh, I feel it right from my tummy up, my heart and out. I just feel it so strongly. And we should all feel that. We don't need to look in a Bible. We don't need to be instructed by seven men in America to tell us to feel that. We should. And if we're not feeling it, that is terrifying. And that is how all these things perpetuate. And on the other hand, yes, as so many vlogs have really kindly pointed out, a lot of the members are trained out of those feelings. Those feelings are taken out unless you're given permission to think that. Oh yeah, you are allowed to feel it now. Yeah, you can feel it now. But otherwise, it's not there, and there's something that's going on in the programming and in the conditioning that is excluding that from people's makeup. And I think I know because I've seen it. Okay, there won't be everyone, but so many do join a religious group, even a political group, if they're idealistic. Perhaps they're idealistic. They want the world to be a better place. They want a better life for themselves, their children, and for others, not just the people they love in their immediate sphere, but on a broader scale. Perhaps, for our lands and seas not to be polluted, to leave an inheritance behind in nature that's worthy of this planet. So people are joining up with good hearts and good intentions, and some will retain that. But in the comments and in the reactions I'm seeing in these people that think that they're bearing witness by responding to vlogs, it's terrifying. It is terrifying. There is just no pause. There seems to be no pause, no thought, no pause for breath to think, that's terrible. Something has happened to thousands and thousands of children. And it's acknowledged everywhere. But I cannot even give six words to say yes. I hear. I see. I feel. And everyone who has suffered in any way has a right for people to say, I'm not you, perhaps. Perhaps they can say, I'm not you. Other people may have had the same experience, but some will say, I've not had that experience, but I can try and understand. I can stop and I can think about it and consider it and take it on board. Embrace that experience. So I thank you to the XJWs, all those terrible apostates. Who was it? Oh, it's one of the, he's new to vlogging, but not to the XJW community. And XL was talking about rampant apostates. He was looking out for these rampant apostates. So I do thank the rampant apostates who do say kindly things about those still left in, and remind me, because I see rampant apostates considering many sides. And yeah, we're all going to get upset about different aspects when they touch a nerve. This upsets me. This does upset me. So I thank you to the rampant ones. Sorry, I can't help but chuckle. The rampant ones who yeah, reminders of those people that are still in there, maybe separated from so many people they love because of all the rules and regs and the shunning which is expanding. Oh dear, we need the law to really come right and get things right. And I don't mean to press and throw everyone in jail and do awful things. I don't mean that. Shine light on it. Ooh, and a religion of all things should bear light shining upon it. So I do feel sickened. I think after a good night's sleep, I'll perhaps wake with a little bit better equilibrium. Oh, I can't say it. Equilibrium. I think that's it. Oh, sorry, it's getting late for me in UK land, and I'm tired, but I was agitated. Do not let the sun set with you in a provoked state. Right, no. I should be saying my thank yous before I go to sleep. And I hope that everyone can have as many thank yous as I have. Because, yep. Okay. A sort of semi-rant. That wasn't, I can rant more than that, but semi-rant over with. Okay. Bye.